Hi there, it's Janice Thompson from JazzleDazzleCraft.co.uk. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator and I live and work in Scotland. Today is our the first card from our Butterfly Brilliance class. I didn't really design this card at all myself. This is from some resources that are provided for demonstrators to do at classes. It's provided by the Stampin' Up team. So I've adapted it slightly, but it is basically from the class. They provide us with some classes that we can just use. And as I like the designs that they have, then I thought, right, we'll just incorporate them into our classes. So, and that is one of the things you shouldn't be put off about having a go at being a demonstrator, because there are so many resources to help you. Stampin' Up do, make it easy for us. So I didn't look at the instructions for theirs. I've used different ribbon, but basically the card is very similar to what they have in that. So we're using the Brilliant Wings dies, and the Butterfly Brilliant stamp set, which I've already popped into my Stamparatus here. So let's pop that to the side. So I'm going to start off, yes, I'll stamp this off. So what I've got here is my brain's not really carrying my colours. Blushing Bride, that's it. Blushing Bride card base, which is half of, in the kit there was a full sheet of Blushing Bride, so you will get one card base from that. Obviously you can do this in other colourways using up your other card stock that you've got there. And I've got a 10.5 centimetre square of butterfly, it's all the bees are getting my Blushing Bride, and a 10.5 centimetre square of basic white for the card. And then I've got a scrap of Merry Merlot, simply because it was lying on my desk and it went okay, so that's why. But obviously you can change up the colours from what's in your kit, or add some of you've already got in your stash, so that's cool. So I'm going to stamp onto the Blushing Bride square here, and I'm just going to pop this kind of about there, and I'm not going to be putting any magnets on because the stamp is actually bigger. I'm going to pop the stamp stamp case there, and I'm going to use the same as they did, Magenta Madness, because it's one of the colours that's in the designer series paper as well, and most of what I've given you in the craft box this time wasn't really a class in the post this time. It was just a craft box with some videos it was a middle of the month kit really this time, this one. So it's not explicit instructions, it's just do with what you will. So I'm just going to see that's needs to be further over, so I'm just see if that's better this time. No, I'm going the wrong way, haven't I? Right, try that one then this time. See, maybe a bit more that way again. That's gone too far now. Am I going the wrong way each time? I want the stamp set to be overhanging all the way around, which it is just about now. Right, yes. That will do the trick. Right, let's just put a bit more ink on because that will be getting dry. So you need to line it up so that this is going to overhang the whole piece of card. So it's part, but you're not going to have a whole butterfly in there. Now, something I actually find this quite often works, just to get a bit more pressure and make sure we've got even coverage. I like to use my Stamparatus with a larger stamp, because if there's any bits that I haven't managed to ink properly, I will be able to do it again, as long as I'm careful lifting this and the card doesn't move. But I'm cool with that. That's fine. I would have liked maybe to have a bit more of this butterfly here, but we're just going to have 5 bits of butterfly on this, so not to worry. Maybe could have had it further up, but if I tried to do it on the other side, I'm just going to confuse myself. So we'll just go with this, but you might want to arrange it slightly differently, but that's fine. We'll give this a wipe off and pop it out the way. We won't need the Stamparatus again. I think I'm needing a new chamois out. This one's getting quite stained, but still does the job. Yeah, takes the ink off. Right, so that's basically that stamping. The only other stamping we'll have is when we're doing the sentiment. We'll pop this out the way just now. Stamparatus is the best bit of kit I ever bought, really. Alright, so now I need my die cutter, my cut and emboss machine. But what we'll do is, the die that I'm using is the large die that cuts out all the, and just in case, I think I will be doing a card that will show you this, but isn't this magic? Look. That big die cuts out this piece of paper as well. So that'll give you half a dozen butterflies, and you can use up these bits on other cards as well. So that whole piece of paper will be fine. So let's just see, we need to line this up on this. I'm just looking to see, it's kind of hard when you're filming to get it just right. But I'm just going to get a bit of washi tape to stop that moving. I'm going to put some about there. Try and not get it on the actual butterflies, because I don't want to lift off my nice stamping. I think that one needs to come down just a tad there. I'll go with that. So washi tape is quite useful. You could of course have done a full sheet and cut it down, but I decided to just do it this way. There's always more than one way to achieve the same thing. And need my plates. So this cut and emboss machine is brilliant. I love it. It works way better than my previous cutting machine did, which was the Big Shot, but this is even better. So just pop the plates. It tells you what plate you need for what situation. Probably shouldn't bring it back, but when you're filming it's kind of awkward. But because I had stuck that down with the washi tape, it will be fine. But you have to be careful if you bring it back, that you haven't. So we've got that one, and that one, and that one, and that one, and that one. Right, so we can pop the machine out of the way. That's all the die cutting. We'll use a punch for the stamp. Now, I haven't sent you this for your sentiment. You just have to use a wee bit of another colour from your kit, or else from your stash. Right, now I'm going to pop my butterflies to the side because I'm going to do a bit of splattering, a bit of mess. So I'm just bringing this over a piece here to protect what we've got here, and I need the square of basic white and my card base. So I've got a watercolour pencil. You can do just with normal watercolour brush, or yeah, or these aqua painters. These are the ones that we sell, but you know there are other brands. But these are great though. I'm really enjoying these new water painters or aqua painters. So I've got one of the bigger blocks here, and I'm just going to put some of my Magenta Madness ink on it. So I'm just pressing down a few times, not the whole bit, but just the edge there to get some in the middle. I'm going to close that over because you know me. I'm just making sure that I did start the video. Something's wrong. Well, I've started, so I'll finish. Hopefully that didn't stop for too long, but we'll see. Silly me. Hope there's not a big jump in it. If it is, well, I'll do it again. Right. So I've put some ink on the block, and then I'm just going to get some water to drip out of my aqua painter. Just a few drops. Mix it all up so it's quite wet. Oops. And then another block here. So I'm going to take my aqua. All I'm looking for is some splatters. So lift some of the water here, and I'm just going to use this block just because it's here. And just bash it until you've got as much splatter as you want. It's just a wee bit of added extra. And gives it all a bit of depth, a bit of texture. And without intending to, I've already started on the card base. Have I got another block just to hold it down a tad? Seems to be wanting to ping up. I'll move that off there in a minute, but we'll get the rest of it. I'll bring that over this side because we've done that side. It's only the sides that are going to show on the card, but you might as well just enjoy the experience. If you're working on your dining room table or somewhere like that, you might want to put a bit more protection around. But my desk is for crafting, so just when you think you've got enough splatter, then obviously just stop. Pop them over to be cleaned, and the aqua painter will wash out, and then that way. So I've got a splattered card base and a splattered piece of Whisper White. I just need some glue that will work, which I've got two glues on the go here, and I don't know which one is going to work. So now I've got the pieces of butterfly that came out. So we need to see where they're going to fit. Now they should. Why am I having an issue here? Oh, that doesn't go there, that's why. That, I'm using the lines that are here, so I should be able to work this out. But will I? Will I be able to work it out? Maybe if I look at the die, that'll guide me in which butterfly goes where. Right, so this one will be under here, so that's the right angle there. That can be slightly up there. this one is right on the corner there because it's got the straight lines, and that one's got the straight lines there. So now I just need to glue them down. Because the two pieces of card were exactly the same size, it's kind of just like doing a bit of a jigsaw. So I'm thinking these two that are definitely got corners, it'd be better to stick them down first. And if the others are just slightly in the wrong place, it won't be too much of an issue. Well, it won't be in the wrong place, but just slightly different spacing to the die. It wouldn't really matter. That's two down. Let's do this other big one. Whoops. Or shall... Oh, actually, I'll just... Not many more other places that wee one can go. Just a straight line here. Oh, thank goodness I used wet glue. I'm having a job lining that up. So you want to line it up properly. And we'll pop this one on. So you see, you are just using your straight lines as a guide. Just leaving a wee bit of spacing between them. I like, whenever I saw this sample, I just thought, I like that. I'm going to use that. Let's bring that down just a bit. So they're all looking kind of evenly spaced. And there you go. Now you could put that in an embossing folder if you wanted. I haven't on that one. Shall I try on this one? Why not? Why do it the easy way when you can do it the hard way, Janice? What if we use that textured one? Let's see what happens. Nothing to lose, have we? I said bring this bulky machine back in, but I like to vary it up. I like, you know, to give you different options. And since I used exactly the same colours this time, let's do something slightly different. Which is of course optional to you. Right, so it's not all that lot. Take all of that off. Just the base, I think. And then this one, which is plate number 4. Which is speciality plate. I think that's going to work from memory. Yep. Let's see how it looks. I quite like that. Because what it's done is it's impressed some of the white, but not all of it, but definitely impressed the butterflies. So it just adds a different bit of interest, and do you know what? It's made sure that the butterflies are well squashed down. So yeah, worth a go. Just gives you a slightly different look. And then this is just going to get adhered onto the card front. About there. And that's all. And then just a bit of ribbon and a dimensional and you're done. Yeah, I like it with the embossing. I'm just going to just kind of make sure that's level at the bottom. Just eyeballing it. Sometimes it is worth just I would say it's a bit long here and I might just snip a tiny wee, I don't know if it's worth doing it or not. Yeah, I think I will. Just bear in mind I'm cutting through 2 layers of cards, so just take my time. Just make sure it's nice and straight at the top of the card. So yeah, there you go. And just to make it a similar finish to this, you'll have to use your own sentiment because the stamp set doesn't have sentiment. I'm just put a bit of this Blushing Bride ribbon that is in the January to June catalogue, and I just want a bit of it just about there. I've cut too much, but I didn't want to bring my whole tub down, so I just want that about there. I'm just going to use, again, just you use whatever adhesive you prefer. So just put a wee bit of, whoop, that one there. Be careful because I just lifted a bit of my butterfly there with that, but I'm popping the, I'll just pop the sentiment there. So, and then all I did was I used this greeting is from Parcels and Petals, but obviously you choose a greeting from any stamp set that you have. I'm just using that simply because it was out on my desk. So I am going to heat emboss this with white. So we've kept quite a tight palette there, you know, we've got, apart from adding in this bit of pop here with the Merry Merlot. And I'm going to Versamark, I couldn't remember where it was. And I've got that scrap paper, I'll bring that back in again, the one that I used for the splatters. So just ink up some Versamark and pop that down. It doesn't matter that I'm squint because I'll sort that out when I punch it out. Lid on there, need that. I'm just making a space. And I always put a fold in the paper that I'm going to be tipping out onto, because then it makes it easy to tip it back into my tub. So then I'm just going to pop my knock it off onto here. Not too bad at all. And then as you see, because there's the V in the paper, it just all tips back in without an issue. But somehow or other I seem to have got it all over my desk, no matter what I do. Right, so having done this on a slightly bigger piece of card, I've got a bit to keep a hold of. So I'm just going to put my heat gun on now. And do it from the back. But because you're watching, I'll do it from the front so you can get to see. You you'll see it change. It melts and swells a little. It was a nice bright white. And that's that. And I've got this punch here. This is Label Me Fancy. It's a really handy wee punch, and it's just the right size for this. So let's get this. And then if you do it upside down like this, you can line it up where you want it. And then there you go. We have our sentiment. So we just need a bit of some dimensionals to pop it on. Now I'm going to put the dimensionals kind of at the top because we're going to have ribbon underneath it. I just want to make sure that quite a bit of the is adhered to the card and not just the ribbon, so the weight of this doesn't pull the ribbon off. It shouldn't though. Then we just pop that there, and there you go. Card 1. Hope you like it. Thanks very much. So don't forget to subscribe if you're not. Oh, this is squint too. Not the best video ever, sorry. But anyway, you can see, so that one's been embossed, this one wasn't embossed. If you think it's worth a while. I think I might have cut this one a bit slimmer, but hey ho. Anyway, if I will try to put the measurements etc onto my blog, and I will put a link in the description box below so that you can get to that blog and check out the measurements if you want to recreate this card. Thank you very much.